mic. I am Jimmy Peoples. Introduce yourself.
I'm Rebecca Reingold.
Hell yeah. Switch seats with her. Okay.
Well,
That's cooler than you, right? 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 What are you doing, Bill? Do it, Bill.
Yo, what's up? I'm Bill.
Will,
Yeah.
Bill? Will,
Yeah.
Bill? What are we doing?
Will.
Will? Fucking hate Will. Yeah, Will.
who doesn't?
Yeah, Wills. Wills are cool. Bills are the shit, dude.
Yes, 100%.
What's going on, man? Chris Keise.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here.
And you be definitely here.
I'm about to switch you out with him because your fucking beard is. I can't compete with that.
Oh, man. You're doing just fine, man. My shit is 80% struggle, man. Don't be joking.
Shit. What's going on? Hi. Man, your skin looks good.
I know, thank you.
What's going on? We're not gonna say it.
Short.
No, you're fine. Don't even worry about the mic. Don't even worry about that. It's all for show. Unless you really want it.
I have to overpower you
No,
guys.
I know.
It's
I know.
women's history.
I know.
Like,
I know.
have,
I
you
know.
know,
Boom.
and also I'm just a
But don't think
narcissist.
about it because I think the camera's gonna be in your face. We're here. What's going on, Bill?
Nothing much. Just
What's happening in the world? In your world?
dude, just started a big project where I'm gonna try to upload my soul onto the internet. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what the moon
I
is
hear
for.
that works.
Yeah. Just calling it a multimedia storytelling archive, so I can still get like sponsorships because apparently sponsors don't like podcasts that much.
Really?
Yeah, well, there's a lot that
Well,
are
you
fine
don't
with
dis-
it, but like, you know, when
The name, you gotta change
It's
the
the
name.
name?
Exactly.
No, I'm not
Change the
changing
name.
always be
the name.
iterating.
My name is the brand, man.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
People's mic, you know?
The people's everything. I put my
Yeah.
name on everything.
Jimmy people-
Condoms, the people's condoms, they
People's
come.
condom.
They're damn right they
Your
come.
face is just on
Yeah,
it.
just
Yeah.
every time. You want a baby or
Yeah.
not?
Nice.
Making like
Look
all
that
men
shit up.
insecure.
Yeah, you can
That's
do it.
funny.
You can do it.
That's funny. The people's condoms.
Yeah, right. Crack everything. Yeah, shit. I'm trying to market, put everything.
Yeah.
I mean, one person say, "What are we putting your name on today?"
You're like, what aren't we?
You
doing
are.
today? That's a shorter list, you know?
People's plumbing.
Yeah, people's
You're-
plumbing.
What? You want to go into business?
If you get me the work, I'll handle it. Make you a millionaire.
Let's
There
do
you go.
that.
There you
Dude,
go.
that's what I want.
Yeah. But that's it. Like yeah, like
What are you doing? He's like, is this like over yet? Over and over.
No,
just
it's
on
alcohol.
camera. Just like,
Yeah,
like
I have real shit.
No,
to
I
do.
was like getting messages. I'm like, oh my god, like, do I have to work right
Is this
now?
gonna come back to haunt me?
Yeah, I'm like, did I just make the biggest mistake of my life?
yes.
Look, Siri just turned on. She's
Siri,
really nasty.
like, yes,
Yeah.
you
She's
have.
like, what can I help you with?
Yeah.
You're a lost cause.
Is there an
Yeah.
exit?
This is the bitter
She's
end
like,
of the
that's
curtain.
it. Yeah, she's like, that's it.
This is it. This is it.
No exit.
What's up, Chris?
Talk to me, man. What's
Man,
going
ain't
on?
nothing. What are you working on?
No, what am I not working on, man? Just, I'm just really, it's an interesting time, but like, coming out of the pandemic and everything. So much like Bill, I've got like a handful of like projects going on, trying to expand upon like the comedy game and all of that. Just trying to put myself out in the the social media universe. So we've got there's more videos and like shows that I'm developing, that kind of thing. I haven't taken care of my mom if you want to get like extra personal.
How's Mama Keise?
Yeah, Mama Keise doing fine, man. Just turned 77
like
a couple of days ago.
Yup.
Yeah, man, yeah.
I feel like
That's awesome.
your mom and my mom would be the same. What was that, 49? What year is she born? 49?
45.
45.
Yeah.
Your mom's older than mine. Mine's 49.
Yeah, man, but just that kind of thing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm still doing the whole gym thing, whatever. Like going to like my 30th year of that shit. You should see me over at Blake,
I'm
man.
trying
Like,
not to muscle head. I see your videos, and then I try to one up your videos.
Listen, man, my best days are so behind. I'm 46, man, so it's kind of like, you know what I mean?
I'm
So
going to muscle head zone. I'm trying not to talk numbers.
I never did. Like,
No, I always do. Every time I see your videos, I was like, oh, he's doing that. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm doing this now.
I'm humble.
How much you
son of a
deadlift,
bitch.
Jimmy?
I was just about to ask that.
I stopped doing straight deadlift because I started doing one-handed deadlift to double my deadlift. So one hand, I'm barely 225.
What
That's
about
still
you?
work.
I used to. I think my max was like 625.
Holy shit.
With one hand?
No. 315 barely. It slips. My
It's
grip.
like bionic.
Yeah.
But my like from the waist up, I'm a superhero.
Yeah.
But I'm unbreakable. From the waist down, I'm Mr. Glass. I was thinking about this the other day.
There's
Yeah.
his Achilles heel, everyone.
Yes,
If you want to know how to get
fucking
Jimmy down.
I
that's how you
can't.
do
Yeah,
it.
you can try. I mean, I'm still strong. Like my leg press.
Let the record show.
Yeah.
He is still strong.
Yeah, my leg press is over 2,000.
Wow.
I can leg press
You're such
2,000.
a liar.
But huh?
Yeah, can I see this?
It's on video. I
2,000
got the video.
2,000
What's
like
your Instagram?
Huh? No, I don't. I think I got JimPeoples.com. I mean Jim Peoples. But yeah, I can definitely 2,000 leg press.
that's
Because
so
I single leg press. So
yeah.
I can definitely.
That's-
but squat, I can't squat for shit because I had injuries.
Yeah.
So my squat is girls that'll blow me out the water. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but pause. Do you pause, girls? I don't know.
Oh.
But you just throw it out there.
Hope for the best.
Yeah, in my in my my curl is alright.
It's funny, when I go to the gym, I see like, I feel like the assumption is women are on the elliptical and I just think it's super cute. But now when I go to the gym, I see women weightlifting like crazy, and then the men are on the ellipticals.
Absolutely. I'm on the. I stay on the elliptical. I was like, yeah, we're
By the way, ellipticals are hard.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
if you're doing right, if you're doing right, and
Yeah.
not bullshit. You
I
know,
only do the Stairmaster. That's my favorite thing. Stairmaster and treadmill.
I
That's
switch them up. I
yeah.
switch them up.
Gotta
The
switch 'em
Stairmaster. When I'm doing leg days, I do Stairmaster and I run. And then when I do upper body, I do elliptical and ergometer.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. Do you work out?
Yeah.
You see ergometer?
Thanks for noticing.
That's
Thank you.
like, what do you do? Like
I do weightlifting too.
weightlifting. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I know the terminology.
Okay.
So like
Yeah, yeah.
deadlifting, I'm like, yeah,
That's
you know.
what- yeah.
Women can deadlift a lot too. Like that's.
Women, they say.
They work we work the bottom a lot more than the top. So
Yeah.
I've been trying to do both at the
Do you do
same
sumo
pace.
stance or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate doing that in front of people. It's
Yeah.
such a like unattractive position to be in at all times.
Do you
Punching your butt.
do you, when I deadlift, I give it one day to just deadlift.
Mm.
Wow.
Because I do all the transitions. Like I do single arm, I do high pull, I do Romanian, straight leg, I do all of it, and then a bunch of reps and sets. So that's like a whole workout.
Yeah,
for-
I mean, if you're gonna do it like that, then you just gotta dedicate a day to
Yeah.
that. Like,
Yeah, I
that's gonna be
dedicate
consistent.
one day
That's crazy. That takes a lot of patience too.
deadlifting. I got patience. I just, I'm not doing a lot of
I'm like
jumping.
highly neurotic. I can't.
No, but that totally makes sense though, because the deadlift works out your entire body. So in the
Absolutely.
sense, it's a full body workout.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
you're like holding
I love
the weights.
listening
Yeah.
to you guys talk about working out, man, because like I said, I've been doing it like 30 years. I'm a dinosaur in the game, man. The gyms, all the gyms that like I've gone to and over the years throughout New York City and everything, and like me, I just keep it basic. Cause you talk about the injuries, you know about my
Yeah,
deal, man.
absolutely.
Both of my hips are replaced.
Absolutely.
So with me, it's like it can only be but so adventurous. So it's just bench, squat, pull-ups, like the real basic shit.
Yeah.
Then get on the exercise bike, like the stationary bike, which is like the most boring,
It is
like
so
cardio.
boring.
Yeah, man. But you know what's not boring is the results and shit. Because I'm
Yeah.
a gorgeous son of a bitch.
Being honest.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
my God.
Yo, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, sure, it's tedious.
Yeah,
It is tedious, but you
This
know
is
what?
Chris Keys.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, yeah, it's boring, but you know what? They'll just throw on like my music, whatever, on my iPod, which is like, you know, it's not completely busted up yet. So I'm listening to my.
iPod?
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe it's making a comeback. It's gonna make a comeback, yo. And mind
You are a
you,
dinosaur,
I
you're
do
right.
I do have Spotify on my phone and everything, but
We
because
talked
I'm a
about that
creature.
last week. The owner had the one you spin,
Wheel, yeah.
the wheel. He
No.
pulled
Is
out
that
the
even
wheel.
still like?
He has it.
Resistance?
He uses it. He's like, yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Did he
yeah,
find it at a
yeah.
thrift shop? Like,
That's a cool dude right there, man. He's on my wavelength, man.
When you do the bike, do you like the Peloton or you do the different because my favorite is the espresso bike. Like I came from Delaware. They don't have them here, but it was like it was like a video game where you can like race against other people around the world.
Okay, so yeah, I think Peloton, they might have got the
Peloton
idea
is
from
just
Peloton.
it's just you
No,
get
Peloton
coached.
has the same thing though. Like,
Yeah.
They have a bunch of different programs on that, but I'm not fancy like that. I mean, once of them, I actually used to like date a girl that had a Peloton, so that was like my first exposure to it. And then when I rode it, compared to like a light fitness bike, which is what I usually rock on, it's like it's such a smoother pedal. It's almost like, you know, once you start pedaling, it's just like you kind of, it's weird to explain. It's weird to explain. It's kind of like it makes you keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's all I do is spin. Cause
You know, so-
I got bad knees. So I get on a bike, I can go for hours.
Yeah, man.
And
So
I do city bike.
I just bang on my 10 miles, whatever, for half an
Did you
hour.
do a city
and that's
bike?
it.
Yeah, I love city bike.
I'm a strong believer that it's not like if, it's when you get hit by a car, you know?
I put on my
That's
music.
some positive thinking, though.
I'm
Right?
chock full of it, you
But,
know?
I saw your nose go up.
I know, I literally did
you
like a
do
tilt.
city bike.
I looked so down on you.
I was like, I don't like
While
that.
Jimmy is taller than you, just like looking down, just
That's like
leaning
next
back
level,
like a gangster. Like, we lean back.
I was like, you do city bike?
I'm like, I've never even heard of
I went
that.
on a date, like a couple weeks ago, on a city bike. I took her on a city bike, and we rode around the city, and it's just something I wanted to do.
Was she sitting in the basket or?
She made me up
She
my
was a
game.
Pomeranian.
No, she was on the seat, but she didn't ride a bike, so she didn't have bike butt.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it was uncomfortable, but I linked headphones.
Yeah.
So we could play music.
It's
Yeah.
so cute.
That was some
It's so
sexy
cute.
shit.
Yeah,
I
it's so
high
cute.
five
Bro.
myself.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, I love your playlist," and I was like, "Yeah, you do." And we just ride around the bike on the e-bike. And the bike's like,
Yeah.
it's fucking dope. But she had an ex-husband. I was like, ah.
Takes a special kind of sexy to make a city bike date.
Yeah, I was
You know
gonna
what I'm saying?
say.
Yeah, I tip my
Jimmy's
hat
the main
to you.
character.
I'm a charming
you know?
motherfucker.
Yeah,
man.
I see, man. Got that glow, man.
Went to the river, the fucking water is fucking, it was nice and cool.
Not everybody
Made
can
out
pull
on
on
the
a city
first
bike.
date. I was like, yeah, Jimmy, go ahead.
That's
Yeah,
how
no,
easy
see,
it
I'm not
What?
risking my face on
What?
because everyone's always worried about whether or not they die on a city bike, but you can just be
Yeah.
ugly. Like, you know, you can just fall off and scrape your face
No.
completely.
Or
No,
even
that
just the way the wind hits your
I've
face.
been
Like,
riding
it's
bikes
not
since
always
I
the
was
most
like
attractive.
6, man. I'm a biker, man.
Dude.
I'm not,
Do you wear a helmet?
fuck no.
Jimmy,
no.
I'm like, I got like the elbow pads.
No,
I'm like,
I've never.
I'm so nervous.
Watch me get
So
hit
you
by a
mean-
car.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm like,
So you mean to tell me you see this big old strong black man like you?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
gonna help? You're not
You know
gonna
what?
laugh. You're gonna look.
First of
you're
all,
gonna
I'm
keep a
gonna
straight
bust
face.
out laughing.
There's
I'm
no fucking
gonna
helmet.
literally make it go viral.
fall,
I'm gonna be
yeah.
like, I know this guy.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna be like, safety is sexy.
It's too late at that point. Like, you done busted out the laughter and the whole shit.
Oh
Like,
my god.
I need to know. No, they don't make. I know. They always say, "Well, your brains on the sidewalk aren't cool either." But no, they don't make cool helmets. There's no fucking.
You should get one with like a flame.
No, I wanted a mohawk, but I was like, that's not mine.
That's
Yeah.
just, no,
yeah,
no.
I wanted a cool one. with,
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
just get a like astronaut's helmet or
Horn.
something.
I look like a. Who's this asshole?
You right?
You know?
Jimmy Peoples.
I can't take dates on a city bike with this.
You know, you
fucking
can't
helmet.
wear a helmet and be on a date.
Now I
No,
gotta take
because
two
you,
helmets.
yeah,
I gotta carry around two
Well, and
helmets.
also it messes up the aesthetic. Like because she's like, how much do you fall off? You have to look like you never fall.
No, I never.
And that you don't fall.
I got pegs for the city bike.
Bro,
Oh, okay. I
if
thought you said I got
fall-
pegged for a city
yeah,
bike.
I was like,
Huh?
I was like, aren't there only $3
Yeah,
to ride? Like,
yeah.
is it really?
The yeah, it's like 3, but not even.
Oh no, you got the year pass, right?
Yeah, I got a pass.
Yeah.
I'm an OG.
See,
Would you be embarrassed if you were riding with like this gorgeous girl
Mm-hmm.
on a date on a city bike, and you're the reason that you both just like eat it in the middle of the street?
No.
You wouldn't be embarrassed? You wouldn't be like,
No.
where's my wallet?
Comedy has made it so hard for me to bomb in public.
I'm so
Yeah.
embarrassed. Oh my God, I'd be
No,
humiliated.
we hop up. We're like, yeah, high five. You okay? I'm okay. Tighten up. I got first aid in the bag. I'm wrapping you up.
I think I'd run away,
No,
honestly.
we would never. No.
I remember one time I picked up a girl. We were outside a bar in London. I was really tipsy, and I like spun her around. We were having a whole moment, and then I fell. Like we were. It was like totally like a consensual, like cute moment, but like right before we kissed, I like tripped and like, fell with her, and like I had to like insulate by like propping her up like that, like a little bit, like and then like rolling a little bit. But yeah, after that, the moment was awful. It's done. You don't recover from a failed spin. Yeah.
Wait, this happened to me actually. I was the girl. So from that perspective,
Yeah.
I'm very small and I hate when guys just like assume they're just like, you're so cute, I want to pick you up, and I'm like, I don't, like I bite, you know, I'm like, don't pick me up, please don't pick me up. And this guy picked me up like baby, like that way, and he starts full on sprinting
What?
with me in his hands, and I was like, stop, I was like, put me down,
Oh,
and he's so fucking pigeon-toed.
Oh.
I was like, I know what's about to happen. I know what's about to happen. He eats it.
Was he drunk?
Hit,
He's drunk?
hammered.
Yeah.
And I was like sober, which made it so much
Oh,
more painful.
yeah.
I was like, this is horrible. And he like hit his jaw and like bit through his lip.
Yeah.
And have you ever skipped rocks in a lake before?
Yeah.
That's what I looked like on the pavement.
Oh Oh my god.
It was horrible. For like 3 weeks, I couldn't walk.
Oh,
I was like, I didn't even like the guy too. I was like, what is happening?
Oh my
like
God.
now he just like the ick is just beyond
Yeah.
of him. Like that's all I see when I see him is like
It's-
you dropped
Yeah,
me.
because he was drunk.
White guy, right?
White guy.
Of course.
Yeah, just making sure, man. Yo, I worked so many bars. Like I've never. You would think.
I don't think a black guy would ever
Nah, we
disrespect a
don't.
woman like
No,
that.
we
Men, white men are like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah, I heard it.
played
I knew he
football
was going to
10
ask the
years
question.
It's like,
I
oh,
worked
sick.
at bars for like
Sick.
over a decade, man. Like you would think one time it will be a non-white person that will pull this bullshit.
Never.
No.
No, because they know the repercussions of a woman pissed off too. Like white men, I guess because white men talk back to their moms all the time. You know what I mean? They do. It's insane. It's insane. I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, okay, or how are you going to talk to me
Yeah,
then?
that's ridiculous.
I'm like,
That's-
no.
Even till this day, no.
It's
Sent
awful.
shivers to my
Your
back.
story actually just made me feel better about mine. I didn't bust
Mine
my.
did?
Yeah. I was like, oh, that could have been worse. I could have like chipped my teeth and
That's
stuff.
what I'm here for.
Yeah,
To
right?
make you feel
I
better.
got
And I never had to see her
one,
again,
but I
that
don't
was-
want to talk about it. Yeah, I did drop a person on the steps. But fuck.
No, you're in it now.
Yeah. I dropped the. She was, my ex was handicapped, so she got, I would carry her everywhere, and the steps were wet.
Oh no.
That's
next level.
Yeah,
That's next
yeah,
level.
yeah,
That's not like a
yeah.
drunken error. That's like,
I wasn't drunk. It was we just slipped on the steps.
Yeah.
and-
was she upset?
Of course she was.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Cause I don't say it just missed a step, and she can't brace herself.
No.
So it's like we're
Wasn't
going
terrifying.
down.
Yeah.
And luckily, she didn't break nothing.
That humbled me. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm like, we can't go on you for that. That happens. That
Yeah,
happens. Like
I'm carrying bags. I'm carrying her.
jeez.
I'm carrying the wheelchair. Everything.
Yeah.
She's like, Jimmy, I thought you could
Oh,
bench press.
well,
2000.
that's why you
I
deadlift
missed
so much.
I missed the fucking step. I was like, oh, fuck. It's like dropping a beagle.
Yeah.
I've done that by accident.
No.
It makes me think of like this low key fear I have, because I help people out all the time. I'm thinking about, okay, when you're helping somebody with their stroller, like up or down the stairs, and some of those strollers be heavy and shit, so you're gonna have to keep your balance. You have to have your core engaged.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is fumble the stroller and a baby.
That's
You
my
know what I'm
biggest fear,
saying?
Absolutely.
Yo, you don't even understand how slow motion I go with them stairs. It's like Tai Chi.
Yeah.
I'm Tai Chiing down the stairs. It's like, you got a lady? Okay, here we go. Like, all right.
Yeah, that's why I hate when people. I try to get away from the babies on the train. I was like, man, I don't want to.
You don't want the burden?
I haven't dropped one yet, but it's just a matter of time. Where, I say, ask that guy.
I just thought about the dropping baby thing. Of like, what happens if like a movie where it's actually like the mom is suffering from postpartum and some random stranger tries to help her with the baby and the baby falls like onto the tracks and like gets killed, and the entire movie is.
Are you writing a script?
Yeah. I was like,
Is this part of your multimedia platform? Why?
The
This
train.
is-
First, the baby's gotta fall on the steps and then roll to the
You
train.
roll
my
and then
God.
gets taken out, and like the movie is about her not feeling guilty about her
Dying
kid dying
By
and thinking that there's something wrong with her, and that basically self-discovery about that stuff.
And the Oscar goes too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
You just about this is how you know this is a podcast of 4 comics and shit. Like all I've been here for the last like 10 minutes is just worst case scenario worst case scenario, falling off a bike,
Leading to dead babies
Yeah.
somehow.
dropping people on stairs.
This is an open mic, I guess now.
Trying out
Yeah.
material.
That's what the podcast is for.
Yeah.
Work out your material and talk it out.
I
and take it to
average
the
2
stage.
positive thoughts a week type shit. Like,
No, it's crazy. So I started therapy last year, and one of the reasons I started it, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I told her it's easier for me to imagine the end of the world than it is for me to imagine being in a happy relationship.
Shut up.
And she was
Come
like,
on.
you need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like,
Not even like
yeah.
you should, like you need.
I
to go to
need therapy, and I was in there, and I was like, I don't know if I need this. I like read, I'm smart and shit. No,
You said
bro,
end of
I
the
need
world or a happy relationship.
Yeah, it's just easier to imagine that it was like the middle of the pandemic. Everything felt like it was just like not gonna work out, like just like in the world, and like
It's normal though.
yeah, but like a happy relationship, like what does that even look like? Like like I don't even know what happy relationships look like. I know how to be happy alone, but I don't know how to be happy with someone because I like my alone time. so that's part of it. But then I found out a bunch of other stuff.
Damn.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it more.
No, it's just like, but like, it's just like kind of crazy. Yeah, no, that was it. But I made a lot of progress. I totally.
Have you felt a hug?
Yeah, well,
Or
dude.
you just go through emotions.
Well, at that time, I hadn't felt a hug. It was like I was like so.
You're like dissociating.
Yeah, I was like
100%.
just TikTok and stuff, and like I was just like in another like space. But like now I feel like so much better. I'm committed to non-monogamy. I realized that. Like I've been polyamorous before. Don't want to do that again. But non-monogamy, I think like I just don't feel like my girlfriend or my insecurity should get in the way of me having a moment and her having a moment with somebody. Like it doesn't affect me. Like I've dated somebody who's like 19 and their boyfriend's 19, and he could handle that we were like dating and like we're cool. So like I just don't get like
19? How
yeah,
old are you?
31.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I lost my virginity when I was 19.
No, shit.
That is a young
Loser.
person.
Like a square.
We edited that out.
It was lying. The whole, the 5 people said loser.
My aunt is probably commenting on this right now, like, you're doing great, sweetie.
No.
You look so nice, fixie hair.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, and the age difference, like, so what was cool was, like, she taught me, because Gen Z is functionally different than millennials. Like, they actually interpret the world completely different. And so, like, she would just call me out on, like, things that, like, we as millennials take for granted about dating that, like, isn't, like, it doesn't have to be there. And so it was, like, really edifying and a cool experience. But there were certain moments where you're like, oh, wow, like, there is a significant age gap and stuff like that.
I would not have guessed 31.
But really,
Like, in any, yeah, not
Thank
even
you.
remotely close.
what would you have guessed?
Like 48, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, 79.
Yeah.
Already dead.
You like
fucking
said thank you
man.
before I even gave like
Yeah.
the actual. No, I definitely thought you were gonna be like, oh, 23.
Oh, okay,
And I was
awesome.
like, yeah, and then I was like, Jimmy, please don't sit me next to a young person. I was like, I feel like I'm getting crow's feet, and it's showing up more
Yeah.
on the reflection of youth. So can we switch?
Well, I thought you were 19. I thought you were just telling us that you lost your virginity this year.
Oh
so,
my god, thank you.
yo,
Oh my God,
but
I'm
then it's back to
just
say-
so stop it, but keep going.
Yeah.
Not that I'm really interested in dating 19 or 20-year-old. Like, what the fuck?
She's 20 now, guys. Like, she was
no, I mean, ain't no
yeah.
judge-free zone.
Like, she's
Judge-
5'18", I swear.
Yeah, but like you say, like Gen Z says that there are things that millennial take for, like such as what that take for granted.
So millennials, and so there's like we tend to view our relationships through a story lens because we consumed a lot of monolithic media, and so like there are like certain memes that like matter and like that don't matter in the same way to Gen Z. So it's like things like monogamy are not as pressing of an issue with like. It's like, and it's not hookup culture either, because I think hookup culture, a lot of people, like, you know, like friends with benefits, always it's someone's like a losing party, but
Yeah.
for them it's a lot more about friendship and transparency. So like,
Trust.
whereas like a lot of times I felt like in my early 20s punished for being kind of like strict, like, oh, like these are exactly how I feel right now or whatever, because I'm like ruining the anticipation or mystery or surprise.
Yeah.
That's actually the expected code of conduct, where it's just like, hey, like just be really straightforward the entire time. I thought that was really great.
Wow.
No, so they live within a
Philosopher over here. Oh my god. I'm learning so much from this podcast.
yeah, well, no, I think that's pretty cool because like, all right, so they live in, you know, Gen Z, they live in this kind of do you kind of way, where it's just kind of, it's a lot more, you know, it's a lot more of a liberating kind of way of living, which is interesting because like millennials and every, you know, older generations, it's kind of like they live within this kind of frame where, you know, your social conditioning, and like these days, I blame social conditioning on so many things that go on in everyday life.
Yeah.
So to see like the younger generation coming up, being like, okay, well, they have this understanding that it doesn't have to be a certain way, you know, it doesn't have to be scripted. Like you talk about being in a happy relationship, well, what's the blueprint for a happy relationship? You know what I'm saying? Because I tell people here and there, sometimes I only say it on stage, the most important relationship I think anybody can ever have is the relationship they have with themselves.
Yeah.
But we're made to not think that way. Because you can't make money off of a motherfucker that's got that self-love. You can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't get
You're
that
still using
person.
an iPod, like.
Nobody can love that guy.
There's 2 girls that bleed too, you know what I'm saying? So I'm propping this iPod, you know what I'm saying, on the bike. I'm like, all right, let's get going. People don't be looking at me. I look at them, dead in their faces. It's coming back.
You have the cord?
Yeah.
You have
It's
the
coming
cord?
back. Yeah, man.
Oh,
I'm as uncool as can be. I completely offset the handsome with my iPod. But it's just
I feel bad your beard is done now.
No, man, it's all good though, man.
No, but like I was just saying, like the iPod's an example of that. It's like you're happy with yourself. You don't need to purchase more stuff. You're cool with the simpler workouts. Like our entire economy is like held up by like frivolous purchases.
Well, yeah. I mean,
And
the whole
Amazon
status
Prime.
symbol,
Yeah.
the whole thing, man.
Yeah. No, it's,
What is that?
I'm like, I buy all the little stuff.
No, and I don't
Like,
do-
I am the
Oh, she
easiest
buys.
category for that. Yeah, 100%.
Click
Instagram,
one
I'm like,
click.
yeah, I trust this. Have all, you know what, have my bank router information, have it.
Everything.
That's fine. I'm like, I can definitely afford this
You're
as a
on board?
comic.
You're
on
board?
This is fine.
well, I love Instagram because it dresses me. Like, it picks out the swaggest
Yeah.
clothes. Like, I'm like, fuck, this shit.
Really?
Yeah, because they're like listening to my call, so they're like, Will's ready for this. And then they'll show me boots. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm ready for that. And then it'll come up again. I'll be like, fuck.
I guess
dude.
I'm ready
I
for
guess I'm
that,
ready.
yeah.
Went to a rave last weekend.
And I do appreciate, I don't know if millennial, you said Gen Z for I hate this word, normalizing polygamy?
No, I think like
Non-monogamy.
non-monogamy,
I like that. That's my
and just
favorite word.
also just like having like discussions around it because I feel like they don't want stories as much as they want aesthetics.
Like your parents are married. Are your
Yes.
parents married? Are
Yeah.
your parents married?
Yeah.
Or do you believe in marriage? The concept?
I
Like
think
I
so.
know I've heard you say that.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on or
I don't know. I mean, I kind of go back and forth with it. Where on the one hand, I am a woman who like is super career oriented, and I know what will come right after marriage is like, are you gonna have kids? Are you gonna quit your job? Are you gonna be a stay-at-home mom? And it's like, I'm 26 years old right now, so I don't want to be thinking about that at all. I want to just focus on me and what I want to do with my life. And I hate that there's just that social construct, that you know, subconscious feeling that if I don't get married, I am a failure as a woman. If I don't have a kid, I am a failure. And like already being so career oriented, the thought of failure is such a fear of mine, and that comes with that territory. So I just go so back and forth where, of course, I want a loving partner who's loyal and trusting and I can go home to, especially after like a shitty mic or a bad show. Like, it sucks going home alone and being like, cool, like this is just me. But then I wake up the next day like, holy shit, I'm doing this myself, you know? So I don't know, I'm really back and forth on it.
I don't think that stigma is just attached to women, though. I mean, look, we came
you
up,
care?
I knew when I was 14 I wasn't getting married.
Yeah,
You know, so I'm kind of a special case in that sense because.
No, you're not. I feel the same way.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause my whole thing is that, okay.
Were your parents married?
Yeah, they were, right? You know, but but they're from that previous generation, and I think that there's this sort of like this happiness checklist that people live by, and part of that checklist is that you're supposed to be married. And coming up, once you get to a certain age, if you're single and you have no kids, first of all, you're considered a unicorn for being that, like you're 35, single, no kids, right? Never been married. But then you'll be judged for living like that. People automatically think you might be gay or whatever, or or that, or you're just a philanderer or whatever. There's the stigma attached to you. So I get it. So it's not just with women. I think it's with men too. Like, and again, that social conditioning is really that powerful. Saying where you're made to live and think a certain way. I mean, look, I don't want to dominate the cast, but it's so, like, I just kind of, I be thinking about it. It's like, from the time we come out of our moms, right, we're following a lead. And I find that fascinating. You're following your parents' lead, then you're following your teacher's lead. If you go to college, you're following your professor's lead, and after that, your boss's lead. And through all that time, like, we really don't get a lot of opportunity to think for ourselves, like what we actually want, what we actually, like, left to our own devices, what we would actually gravitate to. And then by the time you realize, some people get to a really older age and they realize they never had that moment. You can be 45, 50, and it's just kind of like, what do I like? Like, what makes me happy? And they might not even know how to answer that fucking question.
Yeah, no way. I have no idea how to answer that.
It's so interesting. Just to steel man your point, Chris, is like this woman I dated. She is very attracted to Asian men, but she's from the Midwest, and so out of all the people she's never gone on one date with an Asian guy. I was like, how does that happen? And she's like,
she had that type before ever going on a date.
well, yeah, but no, it's just like like who she experiences as being attracted viscerally, but like she just hasn't gone on any dates because she felt like she wasn't supposed to like date that type.
Crazy.
Right?
She's from the Midwest.
Midwest, right? And it's and like it probably would have happened maybe if like dating was, you're hanging out with people and you get to know people, but through apps, everybody is like filtering through their social conditioning. So it's not even like, so many women and so many men talk about their type and then describe a whole host of problems, right? Well, maybe then your type isn't your type. And I think that that's something that we have to constantly say, because what we want to say our type is meant to communicate some social status or what all these other things. But our type, I think, is who we can most effortlessly spend time with, right? And I think
I like that. That's positive.
yeah, and I think part of the problems that we have as Americans is we look at friendship or signs of friendship and comfort as things that are not romantic. So like if you're really comfortable with someone, it's like, oh, I don't have that spark. But a lot of times we have sparks because like there's like an anxiety there because
100%.
that person isn't necessarily who you would hang out with otherwise.
It's
But
mood too, right?
Right.
You know, I think I don't know. I feel like wherever you are, you should look to see who's around you. You know, that's who you're type. Like if I'm always in the gym, I should find somebody.
I'm not dating a comic.
No, well,
Are you? That is grotesque.
No, I'm against dating comics.
Yeah, I am too.
It's like that's a rule. Don't date comics.
Don't
it's
date
weird,
comics.
weirdly incestuous to date comics. It's just
I don't date
It's
my.
like a coworker.
Yeah.
You don't do. Don't mix business with pleasure. You know.
yeah. I've dated a comic though. It was great.
No. Out of town comics. Like if I know she has no chance of moving to New York,
That's so
I
funny.
get it. I was like, yeah, but if she's
But
like,
even
yeah.
then, you're already going into it with such a like negative thought process
I mean,
associated.
yeah,
Like
because
you're already thinking about breaking up before
I'm always
dating.
thinking
You
about
know.
the breakup. The breakup's
Everyone
the best
is.
part.
Wait,
I was like, is this a
expand on
breakup?
that.
Huh?
Yeah.
What you say?
Expand on that.
The break, like, how are we gonna break up? Are we gonna have like the tomato face cry, or is it gonna be arguing in the street? Is it gonna be like a I don't know, like a slow hug, and then we just part ways forever?
Oh my god, I hate
You know?
breakups. I'm like,
You gotta
I
go
have a
in with the
visceral
exit
reaction
plan,
to this.
You know?
I'm more of like the pretty crier. Like
One
I'm like,
tear?
yeah, where I'm
Is
just
it-
like, I'm just so happy
I've
to
had-
meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I can't.
I like the almost she one time she was like, I almost said I fucking love you, and I was like, oh, that's good. I'll take that forever.
I did that during the breakup. 100%. That is my go-to. That is my go-to.
I'm
And you
sorry,
have to like,
that's-
especially if you're the one getting dumped. Like I was getting dumped. So of course I was like, oh shit, like I feel
Panic?
powerless. I need the power back.
Yeah.
I didn't even like the guy that much.
Yeah.
That's what made it so much more annoying. Is like I called my mom that morning, and I was like, I can't. I was like, Mom, I gotta let you know you're not meeting this guy. I know you were supposed to meet him.
Shit.
You're not meeting him. I'm dumping him today. This guy comes over and beats me to it in a matter of seconds,
Yes.
and he dumps me. So I was like, you know what? I don't have to live with this guilt. I don't have to live with the guilt. So I'm gonna make him feel so much worse about it. I made him feel. I actually am thinking about turning this into a bit, but it's it's like so emotionally manipulative. What I
Yo,
did. He started crying.
It's fascinating to me, yo.
Oh,
Yeah.
you fucking get
And I was
out.
like, yes, and I was like, get out of my
Get out of my
Yeah.
house.
Like, don't ever come
man,
back.
the human psyche is such
It's so
it's
easy,
such an
though.
amazing thing, man. Like, boom, here it is. You won because somebody that
Yeah.
you wasn't really feeling it, like, yo, they just exited your life, but it's not even about that. It's about the fact that he beat
He bruised
you
my
to-
ego. He
Yeah,
bruised my ego.
yeah.
100%.
The ego thing, it's just like, yo, like when I'm done seeing some girl, like I'm just done. Like, you know what I'm saying? If their feelings are hurt, and it sucks, especially if they were invested, man, but like why would I waste
Pull
another
the
person?
Band-Aid.
No, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
though.
it's a
Like,
Pull the band.
Yeah, man, like, you know, and it feels bad, man, but at some point you just kind of gotta be like, fuck it, because you at some point
it just drags on, and
Yo,
you fight.
you
it's-
start to
yeah.
realize how valuable your time is. That's really, I mean, and I know I could look at it that way because I'm older and I've had more than my share of experiences, man. But that's what I've taken from those experiences. Like I can't take my time and spend it around somebody that's going to, you know, mess around with my kingdom of cool. Like, look, I'm fine.
Kingdom of Cool.
Yo, like
Chris's
I'm
kingdom
fine.
You guys, did we forget to bow
No,
down?
you ain't gotta bow. You ain't gotta bow.
I'm sorry.
Is
You
that your
know what? I
podcast?
forgot. Where are my manners?
Yo, but I'm just saying. You see, because my whole thing is this. It's like we live in a world where you're kind of seen, and we're going back to a previous point where you're kind of seen as a pariah if you're going about life alone. If you take a longer look at it, it may not be. You might prefer to be with somebody, but if you're by yourself, guess what, man? It's not that bad. It's not a crime. I mean, you learn a lot about yourself by having that idle time. I mean, then you actually, I feel like, for being idle, you might actually figure out how to interact with people where you do have somebody in your life. You know how many relationships are going on where people are just in it for the sake of saying that they're in a relationship?
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not
I've
anti.
done that. I've done that.
You see, and don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-relationship, but I am anti-bad relationship.
Yes, I mean, that's settling. Yeah, you don't wanna
Sometimes
settle.
I be looking at motherfuckers and I know that they're not happy. And I'm just like, yo, you are a masochist. Never mind.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, but again, a lot of it is psyche.
That's why I just do the dating apps. I like being alone, but once in a while I just go out and experience, but then cut this loose.
I'm not trying to have somebody.
What is that?
I'm like,
I felt your eyes.
Because I'm like, I don't even
like,
go
don't turn
on
around.
dates anymore. Like, I don't even use dating apps. Like, I get hit on all the time, obviously, but like, I don't like dating. It's like, it's so
Obviously.
obviously.
This is the
It's
vanity
so,
podcast.
like,
I
I'm
love
just
it.
as modest as you. Like,
Yeah.
my kingdom is cool. My kingdom. Mine. No, but like, I'm just like,
Conquered your kingdom.
yeah, it's
It's
fine,
okay.
it's fine.
Okay.
It's Women's History Month, okay? Let me have it.
Have it.
But like, I'll sit across from a guy and I'm just like, so what trauma do you still not have resolved that's gonna impact me? Like, I'm like,
You asked that?
no, I
Oh,
mean,
I was about
kind
to
of,
say.
yeah, no, I do.
I feel like you date guys who say things like, yeah, I used to be insecure, but like not anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
100%. And I'm like, that sounds like something a really insecure person is gonna say.
Yeah. No, therapy's great. I just don't need it. I just like my big brother. He kind of like guided me through a lot.
Yeah, and he's fine too. Oh, what's he up to? He's unemployed.
Yeah.
He's happy about
Yeah,
it.
he's
you
on
know,
my couch,
like,
which is my room. Actually, but we share a bed.
Yeah, it's a pull-out.
Actually, he's gonna show up for the second part because I have to go to my work shift.
We're twins, by the way. It's gonna get really weird really fast.
Yeah.
But like, it's like those conversations where and that's only from dating apps too. Like, where I'm like, are you gonna turn me into a lampshade later? Are you the love of my life? Like, I don't know what it
Fun
is.
real quick.
I don't do fun,
Really?
Jimmy. I'm not a fun person.
Come on.
I'm not cool. I'm not fun.
That's why I only do Happen. Well, I don't only do Happen, but Happen is my favorite because they're in town. They just want to hang out for a couple
Happen?
days. Yeah, Happen is women who are usually just traveling. They don't want long-term
Have you heard of
relationships.
this?
I thought it was the one where if they walk by you.
It's
Yeah.
the algorithm, but it's usually women who are traveling.
Okay,
So I get a lot of women who are from out of different countries and just they already have a hotel room.
I just
I am so naive. I
Chris
think.
had a nap too.
HAPPN. It's pretty dope.
Actually heard
But
about it.
one of the things I think is funny is that like everybody is the most unhappy with dating, like just statistically speaking, and it's but it's principally like the way dating is mediated now is through these public companies, right?
Yeah,
Right, that have a massive incentive to continually perpetuate us being singledom.
I'm all
and
about it.
and like I think like I've enjoyed the apps, but like I've been meeting women in real life lately.
I mean,
Oh,
everyone
don't
in real
bring
life,
that
never.
back. That's
Oh, dude,
ridiculous.
it's
No,
awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to like immediately know, you know.
Fuck it.
Yeah, like no, because the vibe, right? And even because like dating apps have a very stilted script. Like you show up, you sit down, you're like okay, and like dude, sometimes you just feel like you have to have sex because it's just like the mode. Like, but it's like
I
I
didn't
don't
like
know.
the Zoom dates. I was not feeling that.
I didn't do that.
Oh,
No,
no,
pandemic.
see,
I was like,
date.
No, that's a weird. Why are you at work?
Yeah, I was like, I'm interviewing. It's
Yeah.
an interview. with
No,
the
I love
guy.
FaceTime.
You feel like a tie.
Yeah, it's like, I'm in the bathroom.
Dating, you know, if you dated anyone during the pandemic, I just feel like it doesn't count. I think you can pretend it never happened.
I went
you
on a
know?
couple. They were weird. I had to dip into the old reserves.
My sister calls anyone you dated during COVID like a COVID fling.
Yeah,
It's like a really
absolutely.
nice way to be like, it never happened.
Yeah.
It was a little fling.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
fling, even
yeah.
though it caused probably so much more
Absolutely.
emotional distress than like a regular relationship outside of COVID. Because in COVID, you're just like not well during a global pandemic.
No.
Like no one was okay, so you're just like the worst version of you with another person who's also the worst version of them.
I hate this. I had a ball during the pandemic.
Are you
sorry.
bragging
I'm
about
sorry.
it? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
millions
Yeah.
of
I
people
know.
carry
I
it.
know.
So
I know.
You're like, yeah, that was like the best time of my life, bro.
It was,
Jimmy
I was
People's
like,
greatest
let's
times in
keep
history:
this
World War II, the Great Depression, and the pandemic. These are the times when people thrived.
Those are
I
things you
hate.
keep in here, you
I
know?
know.
But they're not.
No.
No.
There's some. I wasn't alone. There were people on e-bikes. We were smiling, high-fiving each other. Like,
You were high-fiving each other during a
Yeah.
contact
Yeah.
COVID
Yeah.
pandemic.
yeah.
Wait,
So
what?
you
Like, in the
potentially killed
morning?
someone's grandmother.
No.
Probably.
Everybody else, the guys who were out, they didn't give a shit either.
What was it like working the news like during that's busy season, huh?
Yeah, that was. I mean, it's
Are you
still
an anchor?
happening. Oh my God.
No, you
Thank you. No, but
Yeah.
no. Listen to this podcast I'm doing. You think they're gonna be like, we want this woman on
This is
TV
blackmail.
recording
This
this?
is
Yeah.
blackmail.
Like, exactly. Like I'm done. It's a done deal. I started
Hey,
comedy.
Rebecca,
It's done.
you
It's done.
remember?
One recording. It was a stupid joke I made. And I'm out. Like I'm out. 100%. No, I mean it was crazy. It was just like right then and there we evacuated our building and we flew our anchor over to DC and our team over to DC because that was like the safest place to be when New York shut down. And we all just like without warning, like everybody else, we were just working from home indefinitely. We're going back soon. But it was just a really, and we have so much technology that you have to be in the building to use. So it was shocking and we were giving you guys the information you needed. So it was just like our you know, what would I say, like civic duty? I don't know if that's the right term to use, but it was like, we're so passionate about the cause and giving you guys information that at the same time we were also coping with our own experiences during COVID, and it was just really crazy to speak to my coworkers in very different ways over the next 2 years. And even though we weren't physically together, we all just like got a lot stronger relationship wise because it's like a trauma that we're experiencing together and living through together and on the front lines of together. So I have so much admiration for journalists, like I always will, which is why whenever anybody makes that fucking fake news joke, I'm like, all right, get back in like your basement and just stay there. And I'm like, go away.
I do get all my news from Facebook. I'm a fan of it.
That's not, are you serious? Like I put my blood, sweat, and tears into work every day.
I need the worst.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Give me a meme. Just give me a good meme.
I cannot. I will say the one thing that people are on board about with like social media right now is that they're just getting rid of all Russian media.
Absolutely.
Everyone's like, I
That's
don't know. I
bullshit.
mean, if they don't get freedom of speech, we shouldn't either.
They
You know what I mean?
they shut down Instagram. I think that's
YouTube got rid of it too. No, they did. They got rid of Russian media on YouTube.
Damn.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, they gotta get rid of all those Twitter bots, man. I feel like everybody.
Remember when Facebook shut down
Dude.
for like 2 days. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah, briefly.
And everybody almost lost their shit.
Well, that was because there was like a whistleblower coming out.
Yeah,
and
they were
then,
just
like, Meta
deleting-
came
oh,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like conveniently as the whistleblower was sharing her stuff. Yeah,
Rushing
that was.
across the finish line.
Yeah, and they're like, surprise!
Have you guys
New
done?
invention!
Have you guys done VR?
Huh?
No,
No, that shit feels like.
that's too much. That scares me.
It feels like, I imagine like what it would feel like if you like smoked opium in China right before like the opium wars. It's just like you're like, oh, this is about to ruin society. Or like one of
Back
the
to
first
the
people.
Qing Dynasty.
Oh, dude, I like my room. I have a nice room, but I put on that VR headset and I was like, I like this a little bit better than my room.
Yeah.
No, see, that's a problem.
Yeah, and I have like a dope physical life, but in there it was kind of like, and your relationship with time is kind of gone. Like I have it because I think the next big social media app is gonna be VR native. So you just want to have the technology available so you can like blow up and then not use it. But like if people here choose to have kids, they're going to have to either do VR or be immersed like with a chip. That's yeah.
Dude, you're giving me an existential crisis
Yeah.
right now.
Are you gonna have
That's
like VR
insane.
kids and
Yeah.
families and shit?
Yo, yeah. Oh, dude. Well, like this is the thing. I used to play World of Warcraft competitively.
Like,
I
shit.
yeah. No, it's actually like it's actually
That's
terrifying when
That's Wall-E. That's the
Yeah.
entire plot of Wall-E.
yeah, you know, bones disintegrating and whatnot.
You're like, sign me up.
Yeah. No, I mean, my best friend's actually making a fashion line for the metaverse, and I have other friends like are doing architecture stuff.
What?
Yeah, and, dude, crazy money to be made.
Yeah.
But
God.
yeah, but like I think it's really important for us to push physicalism as like the primacy of experience because
We're losing it.
yeah, because like if you really think about it, what's the real point of kids going to actual physical school? The problem that we have as a society is capitalism forces us to think about everything in efficiency standards, but slowly as technology progresses, you can basically just efficient out everything that makes life worth living. Like people love New York for its inconveniences, and that's what we're getting away from is inconveniences. in
Yeah,
this
it makes you
society.
tougher. It makes you like.
It gives you stories to tell.
Yeah,
you like
it makes
what?
you interesting.
Yeah.
It makes life exciting, and to just sit online the whole time, you're kind of just like, I'm disintegrating.
But
this is.
You'll meet cool ass people. That's the other thing is like when I played World of Warcraft in high school, there were literally cooler people online than there were in my high school. Now my high school kind of sucked.
Yeah.
It was like Euphoria, but like with less hot people and more World of Warcraft. I think like so for disabled people and stuff like that, I think it's gonna be great. But like for like It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be really interesting. We're gonna probably see a lot of people who are married to people who are cheating on them with somebody in the
Oh my god.
Yeah, like
dude, what the fuck?
But is it cheating?
Yeah, ask me in 10 years what this has accelerated, you know? Like, then I'll let you know.
Like
I don't know.
families around the world.
Yeah.
If it's not a
You
physical
just turn
family,
one
does
off.
it count?
Yeah.
Ew, I'm sick.
No.
I don't like this.
Yeah, no. That's why I don't like speculate too deep in the future. I have older parents too. My dad was born in 1947, and so it's like the future, like 10 years in the future. I don't know who's alive. Yeah. What?
This is the future to them.
VR and all that. Dude, I did not like that.
So, but the whole thing with like virtual, like VR, like virtual reality is kind of like, okay, so you're kind of emulating something that kind of already exists. You know, like, you know, I mean, because if you're actually living life, like, you know, because, all right, you talk about VR, right? So it's basically, to me, I'm left with this impression that, okay, this technology is basically going to control the way you live. You understand what I'm trying to say? Where
Yeah,
it's kind of,
I
where
feel
it's
like
kind
that
of like,
is capitalism.
you see, so right, and it kind of, you know, it kind of like capitalism plays its that hand, right, when it comes to VR. But then it's like, okay, well, let's just break this down with a fine-tooth comb. Just like talk about the value. All right, do you value the quality of life you will get from dealing with VR? Because it's like, okay, maybe people are planting that chip in your head that this is the way to be doing this VR thing, right? But it's like, all right, do you really believe it to be so, or do you believe it because it's just being said to you?
Yeah, exactly.
You
I
understand?
totally agree with you.
Well, like here's the thing: is that there are things in there. Like the scary thing is that there are things that you can do there that you would never be able to do at like in real life. Like we're all attractive people, so like
Yeah.
yes, and so like that's
Goddamn right.
yeah, right. And so like
Keep going.
the physical world is actually great for us. We would love for it to continue to like oh yeah, like of course reality is awesome, but there's a lot of people who are ugly. Like they now have a chance of experiencing like love or a life that like maybe that they couldn't because it's actually
But then
it's
we lose
more,
adversity, right?
well, and the thing is that like yeah, there will you know like playing World of Warcraft. I went through adversity. I fought dragons. I think that's pretty fucking. I think that's pretty. How many dragons have you killed in your life? Like all right, I
Like,
killed
yo,
thousands of
honestly.
dragons. Yeah.
Right, Khaleesi.
Yeah.
That's a good point, though. That's a good point because it's kind of like, all right, fine. So let's say you're a less attractive person, or you're not. It's kind of whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
where you're not pulling, so to speak. Yeah, that technology has value in that way, right? Sure, but could that same person just kind of make themselves as available to the world as possible?
Oh yeah.
You don't need some kind of contraption for that. You walk outside your house, like you know, it's just like.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want these discussions to happen because I don't want my kids to, like, if I have kids, I want them to be able to grow up with a physical experience being a still dominant one. But
That's what I feel like some people like the pandemic because of the mask. You know, there are people who are like, yeah, I'll put.
Yes.
I only like it because I don't like people telling me to smile.
oh, you have
I'm
people
not
tell you to
kidding.
smile like a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, that sucks.
I know. I'm like, these wrinkles. I'm like, I have only
I
a
used to
couple
do
years
that.
left on my youth. I can't afford the wrinkles
Dude.
for some guy who's not making me laugh.
Yeah.
It's not worth my
It's
time.
like, yeah,
Or wrinkles.
yeah.
Or Botox.
I wonder where that started, like where people thought that was a good idea. Like,
To
yeah.
tell women to
Smile.
smile.
Yeah.
I watched a guy get punched in the face for asking a woman to smile, and I was like, she's laughing now. Like,
Yeah. That's funny.
there you go.
Is that a bit?
No, it should be.
Yeah,
It should be.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That was like a,
It's
yeah, that was a
it's
good
there
rhythm.
forever. You got
Dude,
you.
comics
Go
with
back.
bits, I cannot. I really can't. Dude, I can't with the VR anymore. I'm done. I'm having a panic
No,
attack.
yeah,
I'm like, holy shit.
Let's talk
I need
about
to
bits.
call my therapist and be like, are you even real? Like, are you guys
What's
real? Like,
real?
where is this real?
Yeah.
Am I in it
It's
now?
not real.
No, bits though, like, I can't with comics. They'll be like, oh, I love this candle. They'll be like, I have a bit about that. I'm like, no, you don't.
I
You're
tell
You're just
them,
nervous. I have a bit about that.
I call it biting. I was like, don't bite. You know, don't,
Yeah,
don't,
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, don't run your jokes.
My
on
bad.
me.
Yeah.
If I know it's a joke, throw that shit out. you
Yeah.
know?
The joke I told yesterday at shop about like I'm pretentious, but I listen to audio porn.
Yeah.
I made that joke, and then I listened to the Taylor Tomlinson special today. And she
I
made
had
that
one
same
too.
fucking joke.
I know, cause
I wanted to DM her and be like, I
I
have a bit
audio-
about that.
Yeah.
That's my bit.
I like her, but
She's so funny.
Erotic fiction's great. Like, I feel like that's
I have to
underutilized.
listen to audio porn.
Because you have to use your brain.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's just
Audio,
like,
not audio porn. Porn music from the 70s.
That tracks so much with you as a person.
It's so good.
I can't
It's
even
so
laugh
fucking good.
because I'm just like, of course you do. Absolute. In fact, I would guess nothing else.
That's like
than that.
Kanye
I
shit.
just been in the city, just playing, just listening to.
No, because then when it becomes Kanye shit, it's not cool. Like then Jimmy has to be like, well, now it's mainstream.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Yeah.
So then what do you do? Like 60s porn, like a doo-wop
20s
porn,
porn.
all this stuff. Yeah, just like fast moving tap shoes.
Just,
She
yeah.
shows her
my
ankle,
God,
you're like,
ankle?
oh!
Little ankle? Oh, the sexiest part of a woman's body is this to this. You ever see Asian women who wear the high boots with the low skirt?
Yeah.
This is my most insecure part of my body.
That's
Why?
man.
Because it's not toned, or like it is, but it's not. I
There's
don't have
no
that
tone,
teardrop.
I don't know what it is.
But I don't have thin legs
That's
either, you know.
no, that's all you need. Just that. I don't care. That little high boot over
Yeah.
the knee and that high skirt.
I think like
Whatever
men
you
and
need,
women
man.
suffer in
Whatever
this.
the hell.
I'm like, okay, well, I look like a bubby right now, so I think I'm doing something wrong. I look like I'm about to like breastfeed someone else's kid. Like that's how I look every day.
Side bomb.
Yeah.
That's
They're like,
funny.
how is she even producing milk? I'm like, it's just in my instincts. It's in my virtual reality. I can breastfeed my friends' kids. What am I talking about?
That's a good friend. Though.
Yeah, I mean like
I would do that.
Yeah.
I would definitely do that for my kids. If they couldn't produce milk, yeah. No, I wouldn't actually. That's super weird. No, I would do it.
Yeah.
I would do it.
if they
Yeah.
needed it, like
Yeah, if they were asking me genuinely, I think I would do it.
do you like so I recently realized like I don't know what it's like to want to have like sex with me. Like and I feel like that has made my like math wrong sometimes because like I try to always scientifically understand like reasons like so when you talked about the teardrop thing it made me think of like how I think about like jawline or whatever like that but like when that it kind of like we try to like understand ourselves logically but that's not the part of us that wants to have sex, you know? Does that make any sense?
I guess, yeah. Is this the music?
Yeah. Oh,
I
this is
thought
great.
this was like your
Look
podcast
at that.
I thought
music.
Put it on.
Yeah.
This is about to be the new soundtrack to the podcast.
Yeah.
It's smooth. Okay, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
fuck
This is smooth.
Lil Wayne did the cover of this song.
No.
Yeah.
I saw Lil Wayne in concert.
How was it?
That's hot.
I was also like,
That's
14.
sexy.
That
Oh, yeah.
That's
That
fucking
I was like
bags.
a million.
I might remember.
Where are you from?
I might remember. I might remember the film.
Which
Really?
is professional stuff.
Oh snap! That's what's up. Okay, I thought you were from Georgia. No.
What? You know what? I'm not gonna offend
Look, Westchester.
Georgians. Yeah, I'm from Westchester.
Yeah.
But I've never in my life ever gotten Georgia.
Well, I thought like I don't know
Texas.
like Alabama
I've never
kind
gotten
of
that.
vibe.
Yeah, I've never gotten that
Yeah,
either. Maybe
that-
that should be my voice, like this like southern.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But then I'm like, I'm a feminist, and everyone in the South is like, oh.
This fucking.
Yeah. No, I'm from London, but I was raised in Hong Kong, and so.
Okay.
Okay.
Why are you sitting me next to this like
Okay.
young-looking cool guy?
So,
His own
Well,
kingdom.
man,
His
what
own
you say,
kingdom.
gotta love a kingdom. Let me
Yeah,
tell
gotta
you,
love a
you gotta love a kingdom.
Yo.
But you're going back to what you were talking. So wait. So the question you're asking yourself is you don't know what it's like to.
I think like sometimes when like men and women are assessing like what parts of ourselves that we're insecure about, we think of like reasons we should find someone attractive. But I feel like the
Like
part of us that
rejection.
is attracted to people doesn't like look for reasons to be attracted. It's like either just attracted or not attracted. And I just think that like I don't know, it just changed a lot for me when I'm like no like people want to have sex with you. Like you have to put that in the equation so they let you get away with a lot too. In a sense, does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
No, it does.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah.
But you're talking about something that's so layered, though.
It
It is really layered.
It's
Yeah.
very because you have different people that are attracted to different things. And
Yeah.
like I could think that okay, like my physical prowess is what say makes women attracted to me, and I'm gonna say that probably 9 times out of 10 I'm probably right. But there could be certain circumstances where, okay, well, maybe I'm in the middle of a conversation and it's sort of like, all right, well, just from hearing me speak, so now they might think that, okay, it's not even the fact that like his physical appearance, but it's also, okay, well, maybe he has something to say. You got a lot of people that have nothing to say.
Yeah.
Like they ride their looks in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they put all their focus on their physical appearance, but try to have a conversation with them. They got the personality of a wet fart. You know what I'm saying? So it's going
There's depth to that,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Even,
So
like,
what I
I was
mean
saying, like,
But
there's depth. That's a unique You know, that's unique actually. A wet fart. That's a shark.
Oh yeah, man.
But for Chris,
I'm going after a drink, regardless of how pretty they might be. I'm going after. I was like, you know what? This is a good vodka rock. I'm gold. I can't. You know what I'm saying?
It's nice meeting you, Mr. Shark.
You're really talking to my part there.
But Chris, like I just want to say, is like, but like I'm talking about like stuff like your hands. Like women are like really attracted to like guys' hands, or like not even like necessarily what you're saying, but like the sound of your voice. And like whenever I start like realizing that, like I was like, oh, my hands is what's hot in this picture, and it's like, are you into hands? Are you one of those?
I mean, I have no idea, but now I'm gonna think about it.
Now you're
I'm gonna look at a dude's hands and be like,
what's your thing?
that's a man's hand.
Yeah, right? Like, no, that's...
Okay.
What's the thing that...
Mine?
Yeah.
I would say mine's honestly, I'm really good, journalism has actually really helped me with this. I'm really good at reading people like immediately. Like I look at somebody and I'm like, I already know what kind of a conversation we're about to have just based on their body language. So I'm much more of a personality person. Like you can be super attractive, but A, I don't feel like competing for your attention. Like it should be like a mutual thing. I shouldn't have to compete. And B, like if you're the most attractive person, and I used to be ugly, so this is coming from like, I know, it's shocking, thank you. But like, I used to be
so used to think you were.
Yeah.
No.
Where's the picture?
They are
Proof.
gone. There is the
That history.
Yeah. I'm like Beyonce after the Super Bowl. I'm like, get it off of Google. Get it off of Google. Any ugly picture is gone.
You kind of look like Chuck Norris in high school.
Yeah, like I was not cute. I was not
Chuck
cute.
Norris, oh shit.
But like I have that ugly personality now, which is what makes me like have depth or whatever. But when a guy is just, and the girls, anybody, when they're attractive all through life, you're so right, they're a shark. Like there's just like no depth to them other than just like a wasteful product, you know?
Yeah.
And it's funny because people who've been attractive, I've noticed this like from like middle school and high school on, they don't like think about aging because they just see themselves as always that hot person in high school. But
That's
reality would have totally changed, but they still feel that way. And you're like, why is there such a hot personality in this weird looking person who doesn't wear
100%.
sunblock? You know?
I'd rather be an ugly duck into a swan than the other way around.
Yeah.
For sure.
Forever swan.
Yeah.
Swans are just fucking self.
They're mean. They're
Yeah.
vicious.
Exactly.
That's a cool.
Yeah, well, social, any kind of like social, any kind of hardship is gonna give you perspective. English.
What are you doing,
what I'm saying? Any kind of hardship is gonna give you perspective. If you never had that hardship, then that's how you end up with somebody with the wet fart personality. You know, like it's almost science, really.
That's my favorite part about watching comedians is watching comedians who haven't had hardship get hardship and then get better.
Yeah.
And then watching the comedians with hardship judge those comics.
Yeah, lots of judgment.
Yeah, lots. All right. That was. Thank you. We did it.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Painless.
That was
painless
awesome.
and shit.
Yeah.
You gotta get. You're coming back. Tell them where they can find you, Bill.
At Bill Beteet.
Will Beteet.
Or Bill Beteet on Instagram and TikTok. And I'll be looking out for the Holocron on YouTube. We have 6,000 subscribers. And yeah.
We have to talk about TikTok. I forgot to get to that.
At Rebecca Reingold on Instagram, and I'll be here tonight at midnight.
Yeah, I'm right, y'all. Chris.
Keisiology, Keise-ology on Twitter and Instagram.
You gotta do something with Kingdom of Cool. You gotta.
Chris is Kingdom of Cool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the alliteration.
It's coming.
Something.
It's coming. One project
Keep reminding you.
many,
That's the
man.
name of this episode, but I'm not going to touch it after that. It's another episode of People's Mic. You can find us on everywhere you find podcasts. We are here at the Bitter End tonight at midnight for the Jimmy Peoples Show. We got a dope lineup celebrating the ladies, of course, for the rest of the month. Find all these people. She's here tonight. Thank you again. Paul,
Can I
you
get a
good?
spot tonight,
Thank you.
Jimmy?
Huh?
Or wait, no, I have a date.
What?
Never mind.
Just bring it tonight.
Come at midnight.
Bring it
Well, that's a
tonight.
long time.
That's it. We're out of
Don't
here.
bring her. Yeah, all right.
bring it.
Peace.
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 Bye.
Thank you.
We're going out like this.
Wait,
This is
you
how we're
should
going out.
definitely go
Yeah.